Good evening and welcome to the Season 13 of NXTGEN, round number 2 of the Modern Touring Car Championship. Obviously no Group A ones due to PlayStation network errors occurring. Issues with the PSN, people not being able to get on into the lobbies. So we're going to go straight into the Moderns and see how it goes. We're here at Snetterton 300. A good circuit for a little bit of action, it's fair to say. Off-camber corners, fast flowing corners, and also some tight ones. It's a very, very good all-round circuit. Let's have a quick look at the championship standings and after round 1, and it is Adam Morris who is leading the championship with 21 points to his name. He is then followed by Scooby G on 18, Ginge on 15, Jack is on 14, Jamie's 5th on 12, Fraser is 6th on 11, Martin is 7th with 10, Slider Gas is on 9, D Whitehouse 7 is on 8, Royston is on 7, Whitford on 6, Caesar 5, Shadowstalker 4, Minisui is on 3, AR Gizmo is on 2, and Tim is on 1. Going into tonight's round, and the drivers we have in tonight are NGR Martin, Shadowstalker DBS, AOR Gizmo, Whitford 0, Scooby G, Royston, Jack, Tim, who is parked on the side, Slider Gas, Adam Morris, Caesar 82 going wide, very wide on the grass and spinning around at Hamilton's, Fraser, Jamie FL30, Envoy Extreme, D Whitehouse 7, and obviously Ginge. Trying to get a bit of heat into those tyres. Let's go on board with Ginge then for a lap of Snetterton 300 in this 5-minute qualifying. They'll have 2 laps at the most to get a lap in. So we come up down the main straight then here at Snetterton. It's quite a long one for a British circuit, it's fair to say. Then we come up towards Riches. Slight up of the brakes, get the back end under control as you go through. Up towards Montreal, a very tight hairpin right. 2 different lines can be taken. You can go really tight, whereas Ginge does. He goes in deep, squares it up, and tries to get the run out. Down towards Palmer, an off-camber left-hander. You've got to go really careful. You've got to turn it in. And Ginge is almost losing the front end because the front end is always trying to push through there. Down to Agostini, a hairpin which is faster than you'd think, really. Brake at the 200, get it turned in. And you can pick up the throttle really quickly here. Down towards Hamilton, fast left-hander. Should be a touch of brakes just to get the front end turned in. Down towards Oggies, do not cut the corner. You do not want to get on that sausage curb, it will put you on 2 wheels. Down towards Williams. Again, a touch of the brakes to get the front end turned in and back on the throttle as early as possible. Down the Bentley straight we go. And towards Brundle and Nelson. These 2 corners, very, very famous for catching even the highest skilled drivers out. You come in, hit the brakes, don't lose the back end through Brundle, into Nelson, which is a 90 degree right-hander. And that's lovely execution from Ginge as he goes through the bomb hole. Absolutely pinned, I'd have thought. Not quite pinned, actually, that from Ginge. Into Coram, this really long left right-hander, which nips up going into Murray's, which is this tight having left. So having 90s, quite quick one already. And then down the main straight. What time do we set? We're on board here with Ginge. Goes across the line. Puts it in pole position so far with a 1:53.9. A great lap that from Ginge. See who else is still in the car. And Tim's not going to set a lap. There's Gizmo. There's Adam Morris, our current championship leader after 1 round. Across the line, puts it in 5th. This is not a favourite place for the BMWs. Envoy Extreme is back, which is good after issues with his PlayStation in week number 1. Puts himself 10th overall. D Whitehouse 7 going towards Agostini. Hits the brakes in the McGann, turns it in. Qualifying's over. Ginge still on that pole position. Who's coming around that bend now? Going into Murray's. Who is it? One of them is AOR Gizmo. And I believe Slider or Caesar there. Across the line. 12th, and Caesar goes into 12th. He nicks it back off of AOR Gizmo. Bad laps from both though. Should expect a lot more from those two. Got this trio near the front. That looks like Ginge. Yes, he's lost the back end through Brundle and Nelson. So his lap time will be his one and only. Whitford taking a different line to Scooby with the BMW, trying not to lose the back end up over the curb. Through Murray's and up towards the line. Can any of these boys take pole position away from Ginge after he made that mistake through Brundle? No, but Whitford does go into 4th. And Scooby does close in, but not enough. There's Jamie 430. Slider Gas is just ahead. He's currently in 15th place. Puts himself in 4th. Jamie up into 3rd place then. So some cracking times coming in. Here comes Adam Morris. What can he do from 7th at the moment? Puts himself in 5th place. A top 5 at the moment for that man. Martin puts himself in 3rd. A fantastic lap time from him. There's A1 Gizmo. There's Royston. He's coming up towards the line. Fraser as well. Across the line, stays in 6th. Royston currently 10th. Looks like, I don't know what he's done. He might have stayed 10th. But it is Ginge who takes pole position from Scooby G. Martin is in 3rd place. Followed by Jamie. Adam Morris in 5th. Fraser 6th. Slider Gas is in 7th. Whitford is in 8th. Shadowstalker 9th. Royston is 10th. Jack is 11th. Envoy Extreme is in 12th. A good qualifying by him. Caesar 13th. Gizmo is 14th. Tim 15th. And D Whitehouse 7 in 16th. Both not setting a time. Benji, his boy Rexa, big supporter of Adam here, says good luck to Adam. Win it for the Snacks. So, as you know, in the GT5s in Season 12, Adam Morris and Boy Rexa were teammates and called themselves Snickchuka. They were highly dominant, it was fair to say. So, we line up on the grid, waiting for the 3 red lights that Project Cars gives us. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3 sets of red lights, and we are green here at Snetterton. What a getaway from NGR Martin. A bit of tapping behind as someone doesn't quite get off the grid well. But Martin and Scooby go side by side, coming up into Riches for the first time. It's Martin who is staying in front. Scooby will drop to 3rd. Jamie's 4th. Adam Morris will stay in 5th as you come up towards Montreal for the first time. Fraser looking down the inside of the yellow BMW. Can he get that done? Very wide, I think that's from Royston. Good move from Fraser. Out of Montreal, he takes that top 5 position away from the championship leader. We head through Palmer's. Whitford has Jack right on his tail as we come up towards Agostini. And that's a bit wide, that from Ginge, but will get a good drive out. And that is Fraser looking on Jamie. Fraser up towards Hamilton. Can't quite get it, this traction at BMW, but Jack will get Whitford. Slight tap on the way through, but oh, it's okay. And that is Shadowstalker, is it? Looking to go around the outside of Whitford. There's Royston. Back at the front, and Martin still leads from Ginge. Scooby's in 3rd right now with Jamie in 4th. Then we got this gaggle of cars for 5th place. Here comes Slidey as he's looking to take 5th place away as we come into Brundle for the first time, 3 wide. This could not... That is very well driven by all 3 as Adam takes 5th position away. Slider Gas runs wide. That could ensue a penalty. Someone's gone very wide. That is Royston off at Brundle and Nelson. He'll rejoin dead last in 16th. Oh, and two-wheel moment for Martin. He's got a penalty as well. Here comes Ginge. He's got the run coming onto the main straight to complete lap 1 of 12. Ginge looks to the inside, goes to the outside. Into Riches. The battle for the lead. Can Ginge get a good enough run to stay alongside? Yes, he's made John Martins on that tighter line going into Montreal. Oh, and he couldn't get the switch back, and that's allowed Scooby G through. But Ginge straight back at the inside at Palmer. Fantastic move through there. They're still side by side as we come up to Agostini. Not quite side by side into Agostini though. Although, not a great corner that from Scooby. He's got away with it. See, Hanamara still in 5th. Giac into 7th now. He's had a good opening corner. Set off a good opening lap really from Giac. He looks down the inside of Fraser into Oggies. Isn't going to do it though. Too far behind. Shadowstalker, phenomenal start to the race at the moment. Battling with Whitford. There's the Whitehouse 7. He's gone from last to 11th at the moment. Tim and AR Gizmo having a little bit of a scrap. Let's see that there's Royston, Envoy Extreme. Back near the front though, and Martin has got just over half a second to Scooby G. This is the view then from Jack as we look on the battle for 5th place. Fraser all over the back of Alan Morris. As we head into... That's an interesting line that from Jack. Trying to really make this angle shallow. Obviously got away with it. Boy Extreme now has a penalty as we come up towards Riches for the 3rd time. As we hit the brakes. This battle gradually coming into 4th position now as well because Jamie's just up the road. To Montreal, we've got to have a 5-car battle here for 4th place. Jack now looking down the inside of Fraser coming up towards Palmer. He looks, he backs out, knows there's no point getting involved in an accident right now. Further behind, the Whitehouse 7 has got past Shadowstalker for that coveted 10th place. Behind, that is Jack having another go at Fraser. He's going to be on the outside for Hamilton. Oh, an attack going into Hamilton. Both drivers surviving that scare, but here comes Sliding Gas down the inside of Fraser at Oggies. He's going to get forced to the inside sausage curve that he does not want to go on in that BMW. Fraser just poking his nose down the inside at Hamilton. And it was not going to work at all. But back at the front, we have Scooby G passing Martin. Or does he? No, he doesn't. He got very, very tight. Looked like they were side by side going into Brundle and Nelson. This has closed the top 3 back up to within 7/10 of each other now. These 3 McGanns really fighting hard. Jamie with a crunched car already. I mean, that's been in a bad accident off the start line, I think. He's been hit from every panel. It's made him... He's actually turned his BMW into a compact. I wonder if that's where they got the idea from with the BMW compact, because that is pretty much what it is right now. But they've got to keep Jack TM53 Synopsis at bay. At the back, Tim and AOR Gizmo having a bit of a battle. But at the front, we have Ginge now up into 2nd place. But here comes Scooby right on the switchback through Palmer. He's going to have the inside for Agostini, and Ginge is going to be on the inside of Martin. Scooby backs out, decides to go to the outside. Ginge down the inside at Agostini. That's a great move from Ginge, and he blocks the apex beautifully on the exit. And here comes Scooby G looking down the inside of Hamilton. Not quite going to pay dividends there though. But Ginge leads here at Snetterton for round number 2. Meanwhile, Jamie's lost a place to Adam Morris. Adam Morris into 4th. And now Jamie's got real issues with that McGann right on his tail. Whilst that's happening, we have Fraser and Slidergas in close proximity. How many seconds is Martin's penalty with? 1 second for him. Into Brundle and Nelson. And Morris in that Pirelli sponsored car. Starting to get away from Jamie F430 here. Don't know, anyone who's watching, if you want to have any comments, please feel free to put them in the chat. It's been an exciting first quarter, or first third of the race here. And back at the front we have Martin still pressurising Ginge going into Riches on lap 5. These McGanns really fighting it out. All of them want to win, and all of them want to catch up to this man. Oh, and Jack's gone down the inside of Jamie. Caught that, beautifully timed. So Jack enters the top 5 now in the McGann. He's been looking quick for a little bit now compared to Jamie. Oh, that's Fraser, very wide, lucky to get away with it. Was Fraser. Into magazine he goes. You can see Jamie trying a different line. Not quite going to work. Yeah, there's Envoy Extreme. He's got Royston right behind him. And that's wide from Envoy Extreme there. He'll get back on, but he's already got a penalty. And Scooby has had an incident somewhere. Must have run wide because Adam Morris is now looking to overtake him going into Brundle. Into the Brundle-Nelson complex. The BMW man. These two, the top 2 in the championship right now. Gets past him with ease. Into 3rd place goes Adam Morris. He's making that BMW really work this season so far. It's not normally a track for the BMWs at all, really. This definitely favours the McGanns a lot more with the off-cambered corners. But at the moment, Ginger's looking good in the lead. He's got a half a second gap, and you can add a second to that because Martin has a 1 second time penalty. The number 1 car, that used to be Omega's livery. But further behind we have Adam Morris trying to defend from Scooby G. And Jack is looking to try and get the pair of them. Jack finishing 4th in round number 1 at Zoo High. Through Palmer they go. There's a 4-car train. I believe. Yes, Fraser's got damage on the front. He's gone off somewhere, hit the barriers. And that looks like Slidergas. I wonder if they've had a bit of a coming together there, actually, Slidergas. Front right damage for Slidergas. Front left damage for Fraser. That seems like a bit of a coming together between those two. And now Fraser's really got to get his elbows out here because Shadow Stalker right behind him. He won't hesitate to make a move. But back in this battle for 3rd place right now. Scooby pulls out alongside the BMW. He decides to back out of that. Probably a wise decision. Jack is falling a bit further behind. He's got to go careful not to go wide through there. Jamie's right on his tail. Jin still leads, but Martin is closing in. On board with Martin as we go down the main straight towards Riches. We'll go on board with Scooby G. See the Pirelli sponsored car ahead of us. That's your championship leader at the moment. If things were to stay as they are, we would have a tied lead going into round 2. There's Jack, he's trying to get back of these two to try and gain some places. D Whitehouse 7 does have a penalty, he's running in 8th though at the moment. Started 16th in this race, fantastic little drive through the pack from D Whitehouse 7. Whiteford is being a bit alone at the moment in 7th, but I think he'll take the points knowing this is not a BMW track. But this battle for 3rd is absolutely on right now. We're over halfway through the race, and these 4 really tight and close together right now. Gizmo has lost time to Tim. He is now about 17 seconds behind. So obviously something happening there. And Void Stream is only 3 behind CZ, so that should be an interesting one. But we stay on with this battle for 3rd because it's really starting to get intense. Because the second half of the race is really where the mistakes are made and the optimistic overtakes are tried. And we could be seeing one here. Scooby looks down the inside of Murray's. He's got the inside. Very well raced by Adam, leaving him in the room. But here comes Jack with the run off the corner. He's going to look to take away that 3rd place. He crosses the line in 3rd. But Adam Morris with the inside, and Scooby G's going to try and follow him into Riches. Loud lights on the brakes was Jack through Riches. Oh, and a bit of contact between the two. And Adam Morris, oh, I don't believe that. The game, that is harsh on Adam. That is very harsh on Adam Morris. The game just gave him a penalty for that. But Jack is now into 3rd place. And a great optimistic move down the main straight from Jack. Splitting the two apart in the middle. But now he says defend from Scooby. Jamie's not far behind, and there is Adam Morris. That's Gizmo getting out of the way. Very well done. As Jamie, this is on board on the bonnet. Here's McGann's just pulling away now. McGann top 4. BMW 5, 6 and 7. Slidergas had another issue. He's also got a penalty. He's down to 11th. Shadowstalker in the top 10. A fantastic looking result for him so far. Really picking up the pace. The two at the front just seem like they're going to drive this one out right now. Martin knowing it's going to be very hard to really get Ginge here a second behind him, unless Ginge makes a mistake. I mean, that's all he can force out of him at the moment. Jack starting to pull a little gap here on Scooby. He was quickest, he wasn't the quickest man last lap. Puts in a 54.5. He's currently the quickest man on this lap. Jamie has Adam Morris not really catching Jamie either. Definitely, Benji, I do agree with you on that one. That was very harsh of the game and unfair. He did not deserve it. It's just a slight bit of contact between rear right and front left. And unfortunately, the BMW doesn't like it. It just sent him to the inside. So yeah, very harsh. I mean, if I was Adam, I'd have just kept my foot in and appealed that against the to the stewards after the race. That is Martin. Martin has gone for a wander after Hamilton and before Oggies. That's a big spin or something he's had there to spin through Hamilton, but that gives, oh hang on, 1.4 the gap. I think Ginge and Martin may have had a bit of contact through Hamilton. And now the lead has been shortened to a second. This could get very interesting right now. Not what Ginge would have wanted at all. This battle for the lead really gonna get interesting. Envoy Extreme. Oh, that's an interesting coming back on the circuit there. Stays off, which is good of him. Caesar now moves up into 13th. Envoy Extreme in 14th at the moment. Be looking for a bit better than that. But back to the front. Yeah, 158.2 from Ginge. Means that he's either had to slow down himself actually, or something happened between him and Martin. But this lead just got into a 3-car scrap. We have 2 laps remaining after this. What can Jack do? But can he take his first win of season 13 in the Monday Night Tours modern touring cars? He's got to make sure he doesn't get overtaken, as the cameraman does a fantastic job. Needs to make sure he doesn't get overtaken by Scooby G there. Adam Morris has had more issues. He's now 10 seconds off the pace. But he's slowly falling back into the clutches of Whitford. Back at the front though. And Jack and Scooby closing in on Ginge through Brundle and Nelson. Jack right on the bumper here. So he head through the bomb hole and into Coram for the 10th time. They hit the brakes into Murray's. A little bit wide out from Ginge. Jack's going to have good momentum out of Murray's and up towards Riches. Will he have enough momentum though? That is the question. He swings to the outside. Maybe looking for switch back into Montreal. That almost is what he was looking for, but Ginge very cleverly fending that one off. And now Scooby's looking down the inside of Jack into Montreal, because Jack's being forced wide by Ginge. Jack stays in second so far, into Palmer then. Very hard corner to get right all the time. Towards Agostini for the penultimate time in this race. Jack looking at the back of Ginge. These two have an interesting rivalry dating back to Clio's. And I think also when the Taurus first began. Although he's looking at the inside of Williams. Oh, that is door-to-door stuff through Williams. They've come out of Williams side by side up towards Brundle and Nelson. Who has got the balls to go around here side by side? Is it going to be these two? Oh my word, and Scooby's going to make it 3 wide. Does he? No, he decides to back out there. But Jack and Ginge not having any of it. Oh, and Ginge looking for the switchback. Doesn't quite happen. Clips the sausage curb. And Jack with a fantastic ballsy move round the outside of Brundle. Cracking move from Jack TM53. Synopsis. Ginge through Murray's. He's got Scooby G to contend with as we head on to the final lap. Ginge is going to be absolutely kicking himself if he doesn't get the win of this race. He was fully in control with Martin behind him. And now Jack has nicked through. I want to know anyone's comments on that move, because that was a fantastic one. Oh, and Ginge has tapped the back of Jack into Montreal, pushing him wide. Luckily, Jack gets away with it. He stays into that first place. Ginge is now having to defend his position from Scooby through Palmer, but he can't do it. Scooby goes around the outside of Palmer now, and Ginge down into third. He looks to the outside of Agostini. Almost looked like he was trying to sell a dummy. And again, it looks like a slight tap. Scooby onto Jack. Into Hamilton. Look at this, 4 cars. Oh, that's not what Ginge wanted. Ginge has gone absolutely flying off the circuit. Into the wall. Jamie gets past him now. Ginge down into 5th. A phenomenal turn of events here. He just got a win on the grass. Coming out of Hamilton and the car just spins. But Jack now having to defend from Scooby G for this win. This has been a phenomenal race here at Snetterton 300. Through the bomb hole into Coram for the final time and towards Murray's. Here's Scooby's going to look to go down the inside at Murray's here. Oh, and not the best line there from Jack. He's on the grass. This is going to be a bit of a drag race. Up to the line. Here comes Scooby. But Jack's got a penalty. Scooby wins. Scooby wins courtesy of a penalty. Martin is in second. Jack is in third. That must mean that Jack had a 2-second penalty. Yeah, there's only one. How does that work? Ginge will come home in 4th. Jamie in 5th. Adam Morris 6th. Whitford 7th. Fraser is in 8th. D. Whitehouse 7 is 9th. Slider Gas is going to be in 10th place here in that BMW. That is very harsh of the game on Jack. Slider Gas comes home in 10th. Shadow Stalker, a fantastic 11th for him. Great drive by the McGann man. Royston, I think that's Tim just ahead. Yeah, Tim's just ahead of Royston. Tim in 15th place. Royston comes home in 12th. There's Caesar. Envoy Extreme is there on Gizmo, coming through the final corner for 16th and last. In the Mercedes, I think he's picked the wrong car, really. Mercedes not very, very quick at all, to be fair. He'll cross the line for 16th. Caesar 82 will come home for 13th. And Envoy Extreme will be in 14th place. So the final results, I say final, these results are obviously not final. The unofficial results are Scooby G wins from Martin and Jack. I think that should be Jack from Martin because a 1-second penalty, and Jack definitely finished ahead of Martin. I'm sorry, that's just the way it works. So I reckon Jack should be in 2nd and Martin 3rd, but carry on through. Ginge got 4th in the end from Jamie at 4:30. Adam Morris is in 6th. I don't know if Ginge and Jamie had a bug glitch at all or not, but apparently Ginge in 4th, Jamie 5th. Adam Morris is in 6th, Whitford is in 7th, Fraser 8th, D. Whitehouse 7 is in 9th, a solid result from him. And a good comeback drive from Fraser, actually. Slightly Gas ends in the top 10. Shadow Stalker is 11th, Royston 12th, Caesar 82 is in 13th, Envoy Extreme 14th, Tim, a solid 15th for him, and Echo Gizmo will round out in 16th and last. Top-notch race that from Snetterton. And I think that will mean Scooby G will take the lead here coming out of Snetterton 300 for the modern touring cars. So, next round. Where are we the next round? Let's find out. So next week, we come live from Fuji. And that it really is going to be an interesting race, a proper old school circuit. Nothing to fear, because Fuji will be here in just a week's time. But from myself and the Modern Tourers, thank you for watching. And up next is the Modern Monday Night Tour Clios, live from my point of view. So do join us join me for that one in about 5-10 minutes. But from myself and the Modern Touring Cars, thank you all for watching tonight. Enjoy the rest of your evening.